Hello, this is Paige Evans, and today I'm going to share how I made this layout. It is called Winter Vibes, and it was made for Winter Week on the Pink Paisley blog. So I Googled Snowflake PNG on the internet and found this one that I liked the shape. I knew I was going to do some stitching, so I wanted it to be pretty basic, and I traced it in Silhouette Studio, and now I want to copy it 3 times. So the rule of thirds, or the triangle, that's what I'm looking for, the visual triangle. So I like having things in 3s and just copying and pasting and rotating them just a little bit, just so they're not exactly the same, not at the same angle. And then, so I want to die cut this inner snowflake, and then I want to stitch a border around each snowflake. So to do this, I selected all of them, and then I clicked on the offset. That border was a little bit too thin, so over here on the right, I'm just going to up it a little bit, increase the size until the border is the size that I want. Then click apply, and now I'm making sure that they are ungrouped, and this was a new feature that I tried. I have the new Silhouette Cameo 3, which has 2 housing units, or 2 things, so you can use a blade and a pencil in one. So to do this, I selected the outer edge of each snowflake, the border, and for tool 2, I made sure it was the sketch pen, and for tool 1, so the inside snowflake, was textured cardstock. So it would cut the inside snowflake and draw the outside snowflake all in one pass. So big time saver. I'm a fan. Another reason why I love the Silhouette Cameo. And no, this is not a paid advertisement. Okay, so I took a quick video of the Cameo doing its job. So it just finished cutting the snowflakes, and now I used a pencil and it is drawing the outside snowflake. You could use the perforation tool, or make a perforated line, but I haven't had much success with that. I like poking my own holes. So since it doesn't cut all the way to the edge, you need to use a pair of fine-tipped scissors and just finish off the bits that didn't get cut. This is a brand new mat, so it was extra super sticky. Not gonna lie, I almost gave up on this layout on more than one occasion. It was really hard to take this off the mat without tearing. So yeah, with more use it'll get okay. So I did save these 2 inner pieces to add later, because otherwise it was just a big empty spot. And now I'm using a paper piercer and a piercing mat, and I also just put an extra layer in between so I wouldn't poke holes into my white foam core board. I've done that many times, so learning from my mistakes. Okay, so poking a hole about 1/4 inch all the way around, including on these 2 little inner pieces. So take some time to poke the holes. And then I thought about using different colors of blue or teal thread. I thought about using white thread, and in the end I chose silver. So first, before you get stitching, just erase the pencil lines. I mean, you don't have to do this step, but I like to, just in case I didn't poke the holes exactly on the pencil line, just in case you're not using all 6 strands of thread, just erase the pencil lines. Why not? So this is I guess it's like a silvery gold thread. It's just been in my stash for years. And yeah, this stitching process was hard because the thread would get caught on all these edges of the snowflake, and this thread just isn't very bendable. I don't know, it's pretty stiff. Yeah, it's kind of a stiff thread. And yeah, I don't know, I just wasn't in the mood to stitch. So about 10 minutes into stitching, I decided I want to try something else. Maybe use glitter glue instead of stitching. But yeah, so I die cut and drew a whole nother snowflake background, and I used some American Crafts glitter glue called Zaz, and I just went around the drawn line and created a border. Just took a few minutes to do this. I don't know, when it was done and it was dried, it was just too much. Just made the snowflakes stand out too much, and I just wanted a more subtle border. So I did end up finishing stitching the snowflakes and these inner pieces. So there was me wasting, I wouldn't say wasting, I actually am using, I trimmed the glittered snowflake into a 6x8 piece and am using it in my December daily. So all's well that ends well. So securing the end of the thread with a little bit of washi tape. And I've said it before, but I wear gloves when I'm stitching just to, I don't know, makes the needle not hurt as much. Sensitive fingers, so much stitching. Okay, so here's where I debated which background I was going to use. Glitter was too much. I liked the texture of the thread. So there we go, gonna use that one. Moving on. I bought this Martha Stewart snowflake punch at our PX, which is kind of like a Target, but definitely not a Target on the Army base. I could have used my Cameo to cut snowflakes, but in this case, punching is so much faster. I grabbed all of the blues and teals from my Take Me Away collection in pink paisley and started punching away, placed it on top just for a second to see how it looks. And while I do love the blues, give it a definite wintry feel, y'all, everybody knows I love color, right? Color, give me all the colors. So I haven't really used this paper yet, so I was really excited. I think some of those shapes remind me of snowflakes. So I thought it was just a good idea to punch snowflakes from this snowflake looking paper, especially because it has all the colors. And so I punched a few, placed the die cut background on top, and was 100% happier with how that looked. So I think I punched 2 full sheets of that same paper, and now I am using a glue, liquid glue, putting a little dab on the back of each snowflake and putting them in place. So what I actually did here was I drew the inner snowflake, just used that exact same cut file that I made in the beginning, and drew the inside snowflake just so I would have a frame of reference where to put these. You don't have to cover the entire background, just place them inside the drawn snowflakes. And I like how putting adhesive only in the center lets the snowflakes bend up, so you get tons of texture and dimension when you place this on top. Lovely. Looking good. Place dimensional adhesive all across the back. Carefully set it on top so the edges are all aligned. You can kind of tweak things around just a little bit. And then add those inner pieces that we've been saving. Helps complete those 2 snowflakes. And then use a pair of fine-tipped scissors and trim off the excess snowflakes. So now that we've got our colorful and busy background, I wanted to keep the embellishments to a minimum. I didn't do much after this point, except for adding the photo, title, and journaling, but I will show you exactly how I did that. So the excess snowflakes trimmed off. I took some pictures of my kids just this past Sunday on our way to church, and they're wearing their new puffy coats. I printed 3 different options, so 3 at, I'm not sure of the dimensions, 3 slightly bigger, 3 slightly smaller, and my favorite one, and I decided to go with that one. I like how the big photo stands out more than the 3 smaller ones. I made the title, Winter, using the color blocked thickers from my Take Me Away collection, and now I'm just going to add embellishments around the photo. This will help draw the eye into the photo and make it more of the focal point. I cut that Weekend Vibes chipboard sticker in half so it just says Vibes, and I'm going to create a little cluster right here with a chipboard heart sticker, an epoxy paper clip with hearts, just slide it on over all the layers. So that kind of helps everything stay in place, because I don't like to glue things down until I'm sure of their placement. Adding a little button in the center of each snowflake. And I'm writing my journaling with a pencil right here in the open space on the white background. And that, my friends, is how this layout came together for Winter Week on the Pink Paisley blog using my Take Me Away collection. I hope you are inspired to create a wintry themed layout with bright colors. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.